Welcome, Fireside.
Kids.
Kids. So, this is the last part of this series, Friendship.
Can you believe it?
Did you have fun?
I did. Did you?
Good job, host. Yeah. Didn't you do a good job? Can you guys give Ava a big round of applause? She crushed it. But before we end, we still have some things to learn.
Yeah.
So, today's story is about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Who?
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Can you say that 10 times? Go.
Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach. I can't do it.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Shadrach. Can you kids do it? Ready? Say Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego 10 times. Ready? Go. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. All right. So anyways, the story goes, 3 friends were said, you need to worship the king. And do you think they said yes or no?
I don't know.
They said no. And they got thrown into a fiery furnace. Have you ever got burnt before, Ava?
I have.
Did it hurt?
Yes, it did.
And where'd you get burnt?
On my hand.
On my hand. See, they were in all fire.
That's crazy.
Crazy. And the king looks at them and is like, you know what? I put 3 guys in there. I see 4. Who was the 4th?
Jesus.
Jesus. They came out and they didn't even smell like smoke. You know when you're at a campfire, what do you smell like after a campfire?
You smell like the campfire smoke.
Imagine if you were actually in the campfire.
No.
You would smell awful, and they didn't smell at all. But friendships do hard things together. They were together, and they got thrown into fire together. Friend, that's what friends do. So if your friend's going through a hard time, if you are having a hard time following Jesus, you're like, let's go do this, friend. And you follow Jesus together, even when it's hard. So friends do hard things. Do you want to see some friends do hard things?
I do. Do you?
I do. Why don't we see these friends? So check it out.
Friends do hard things together, like brush teeth. I can't. I get it. Oh my gosh. Okay. We're crying.
Good job.
You got this. Yeah. Go.
Say friends do hard things together.
Let's say friends do hard things together.
Friends do hard things together. Friends do hard things together.
Slipping.
Friends do hard things together. Catchers ready?
Ready.
Falling.
Falling.
That was so easy.
Friends can do hard things together. Hey, friends do hard things together. Friends do hard things. You want to see something hard? Eating a worm.
Oh, that's wiggling.
What do you think, Jose?
Tastes like dirt.
Very crunchy.
I don't believe you guys go, get a shot in their mouth. Ew, that was disgusting.
That was really gross.
Would you do that?
No, would you?
Not even with my BFF. I mean, that's not the hard things we're talking about.
No, not even close.
That's just ridiculous. We're talking about doing hard things for Jesus. Like following Jesus, doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like all your friends are making fun of a kid and you and your buddy are like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And good thing you got a friend. Friends do hard things together.
We do?
Like jump in the fire and they wouldn't worship the king. It's hard.
Yeah, that's really hard.
Anyways, should we show them the cartoon?
I guess we should. Let's go.
Check it out.
Stories of the Bible, the fiery furnace. There once were 3 Jewish men named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Hey!
When they were very young, they were taken from Israel to live in a place called Babylon. At that time, the king of Babylon was a man named Nebuchadnezzar.
That's it. Almost there.
And he made a gold statue that was 90 feet tall.
Perfect.
The king sent a message for everyone to come to the dedication of his statue. When everyone had assembled, it was declared that people of all races, nations, and languages would bow before the statue and worship King Nebuchadnezzar's statue when they heard the sound of musical instruments. If anyone refused, they would be thrown into a fiery furnace. So at the sound of the musical instruments, all the people bowed to the ground and worshiped. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not, because they were Jewish and would only bow to the one true God. Some of the wise men of Babylon went to the king and told him that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow to the statue.
What?
This made the king very angry, and he asked Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego if it was true that they would not bow to the statue. Then he said he would give them one more chance to bow down, and if they did not bow, they will be thrown into the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied that they didn't need to defend themselves against the king. They said, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God whom we serve is able to save us. He will rescue us from your power, your majesty. But even if he doesn't, we want to make it clear to you, your majesty, that we will never serve your gods or worship the gold statue you have set up." The king was so angry with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that he commanded the furnace to be heated 7 times hotter than usual. Then he ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to be bound and thrown in the fire. The fire was so hot that it killed the soldiers that threw them in. So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell into the flames. But suddenly, the king jumped up and said to his advisors, "Didn't we tie up 3 men and throw them in the furnace?" The advisors said, "Yes." But the king said, "Look, I see 4 men walking around the fire, and the 4th looks like a god." Then the king shouted to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, "Come out!" So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stepped out of the fire, and everyone saw that the fire had not touched them. They didn't even smell of smoke. Then Nebuchadnezzar praised the one true God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had rescued them from the fire. And the king made a new command that anyone who spoke a word against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would be greatly punished. Then he promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in his court. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego trusted in God and were willing to die rather than worship any god but their own God.
Love those cartoons.
Gotta love them.
Do you love those cartoons?
I do love those cartoons.
Well, some crazy things happen in that. Should we
Go see the outtakes.
want to see it?
I do.
Kids, you want to see it? Check it out.
Where can I apply a lot of pressure?
How do we get into this?
Just okay, go like that.
Are you guys pressing pause?
Yeah.
That's too much. I'm moving.
Make sure they say friends do hard things together.
Why is Jose getting all the
Get close. Jose, turn around and say friends can do hard together.
Friends can do hard stuff together.
I haven't even started yet. Connor!
Don't go behind each other's arms. We can face each other.
No. Like,
You know what? I'll hold your arm.
it's a little different when.
You have 100.
All right, let's see it.
Yeah, sure.
What position do I go in?
No,
Exactly.
I've never done this before.
Go straight as a board. Cross your. I mention my kids all the time. Cross your legs.
Friends do hard things together.
Straight as a board. Why?
Cross your legs.
Cross your arms.
Cross your legs. Cross your legs.
Cross your legs.
Like that? Yeah. Oh, you're gonna bench him over your head?
Yeah.
Dad lift him and then put him over your head.
Whoa.
You're not moving me. At all.
Cross your arms.
Here.
That is like.
That is not awesome.
So we just shoot around?
No, just go up.
One of you's gonna say friends who try it.
I want to do something.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
And are overwhelmingly larger than you. Your feet.
Yeah, you have overwhelmingly large feet.
That's it for the friendship series, guys. Now go out, do hard things, sacrifice for each other, serve each other, and go have fun. See you next week.